From a business perspective, connectivity is absolutely critical because now, more so than ever before, businesses are going global when they're smaller, and being global is an intrinsic part to how you grow. So having great airline connections to key international business destinations from a local airport makes life incredibly easy for you to then go develop those clients, develop those new accounts and develop those opportunities.
It is great to be here at the Alliance Manchester Business School, and what we're going to be talking about tonight is, well, Virgin Atlantic's presence here in Manchester, which has grown dramatically over the last few years, and Virgin Holidays as well. And so we're going to be sharing some of our thoughts about Manchester and some of the things that we think of that make Virgin Atlantic and Virgin Holidays special and therefore great for Manchester. Now as I see Manchester, and I've spent a little bit more time here in the last 2 or 3 years as Virgin Atlantic has been growing, what I see is a city with a growing technology focus, a growing kind of entertainment focus, and a young and entrepreneurial spirit. And those tend to be the cities that Virgin Atlantic does the best in.
Tonight, what we're going to be focusing on is the massive investment we're making in Manchester Airport. We're going to be spending over £1 billion over the next 5 years or so. The reason we're doing that is because we want to have world-class facilities. We want to match the terminal capacity with our 2 runway capacity. So we're going to be increasing the overall airport up to 55 million people a year by the time we're full. We want to have a better product. We want to have a facility that the North is absolutely proud of and a global city like Manchester deserves.
For any business, it's vital that you stay close to your customers, understand how their needs and wants are changing, and evolve to stay relevant. And that's what's led us to really invest in our product range, our digital platforms, to make sure that our holidays are evolving in line with 21st century consumers.
Historically, there has been very much a southeast focus when it comes to large-scale international transcontinental flight. But what we found recently in particular is more and more Northwest businesses are looking internationally outside Europe to develop their business, whether that's Asia, East Asia, Far East, Australasia, North America. And so having those destinations from the doorstep here is amazingly important because it saves you time, it saves you money, and actually, even though it might not sound like it, those extra few hours connecting through different airports makes a big difference to your budgets and timings.
What's key for an airport? The fact that we've got 2 runways that have got capacity up to 55 million passengers a year. What we want to do is match the terminal capacity and the rest of the infrastructure so that we've got a world-class product.
What Virgin are doing is giving us that Atlantic crossing connectivity. San Francisco's been a fantastic opportunity for us, a great example of connecting some tech businesses from the Northwest into the venture capitalist markets over in California.
Well, we certainly think this city has the kind of vibrancy to be a great place to take people from, to go visit the rest of the world. And as we've seen with Manfran, a phrase that we are trying to see if the Oxford Dictionary will accept, we think the combination of cities where there's a natural kind of community of interest, like high tech in the US and high tech here in the northern England, makes for a great fit.
Consumer kind of preferences and buying behaviours are changing, and there is a kind of greater propensity for consumers to want a more tailored experience when they're travelling, and one of the ways that they can do that is to put it together themselves and buy the various elements independently, and we have seen growth in that part of the market. Free time and holiday time is becoming ever more precious, and consumers are looking to pack more and more into those holidays. We're absolutely seeing that from our customers in the Northwest, and making sure that we're tailoring and evolving our holiday kind of offering to match that.
The Northern Powerhouse is really critical to build an economic centre outside London, but whilst really being mindful of the fact that London is the real capital hub of our country. That's where the big, heavy finance is. But in the same way that in Silicon Valley you have San Francisco where the money is, and then places like Palo Alto where the engineering talent is and the makers are, that's the role Manchester plays. London is the financial hub, but Manchester and other cities in the north are where the makers are, where the engineers are, where the computer coding is done, and actually that's why it's so important to think of the Northern Powerhouse as that. We are the engine of the makers, and we absolutely have to be able to get people across the world really quickly and easily to take advantage of those opportunities and to learn.